in this case study, we look at TU MUTAG dataset. This dataset is about mutagenicity on a particular kind of organisms called Salmonella typhimurium. Here, we have around 188 nitroaromatic compounds, and its mutagenicity on this particular organism has been studied. So here the class is that there is a mutagenic effect or there is no mutagenic effect. Here, since we have a 188 nitroaromatic compounds, we are going to consider them as a molecule, and in this molecule we will consider atom as a nodes, and each atom has been allotted a feature vector through one hot encoding of that atom. So depending on the type of atom, it has one C, N, O, F, L, Cl or Br as their feature. Ages, as usual, are bonds, which are the connection between two atoms. And there is no age feature associated with this particular ages in this particular graphs. The graph statistics here, on an average in this nitroaromatic compounds, we have around 18 nodes and around 40 ages in the graph. This is just to give you an idea about the complexity of the graph associated with each molecule in this example. And we have a label associated with each of these compound, mutagenic or non-mutagenic. What we are going to do is we are going to split this data set into training and test. Stratified split is used to ensure equal representation of both classes in the training and test data set. Number of filters we are using going to be 2. Hidden channels are 32. And again, optimizer is used is Adam W with learning rate of 0.01. And we are going to use 20 epochs to actually train this model and then test it on the 20% of data set. Here, we have used different kind of filter, graph neural network, GCN, GET, and graphs Sage. And we can see that they have a more or less same kind of performance. However, graph attention networks, you can see here, are performing far better than any other network when it compared on AUC ROC. And hence, the graph attention network is considered to be base model in this particular setting. Recall that here the idea is to demonstrate how we can use graph neural networks or different kind of filters and the pooling operation approaches to create graph classifiers. Here we have not optimized to see which one is indeed a better classifier. So in a practice, we have to actually work with number of filters, hidden channels, and other hyperparameters to figure it out which one of this model is indeed working well. However, prima facie, without much parametric tuning, it is graph attention network. Third example is the protein datasets, where we are going to use 1113 protein ternary structures. Here I'm just showing you a structure which is obtained from Protein Data Bank, which is an open source protein data bank where we can get ternary structures of the proteins. And here, each protein ternary structure is labeled with whether it is enzyme or non-enzymes. In other words, whether this protein structure, tertiary structure, is acting as an enzyme or it is not acting as an enzyme, is the class in which we are classifying. Here, what we are going to do is we are going to use node as a secondary structure elements, SSE, and node features. So with each node here, we can have different kind of secondary structure elements, which are helix, sheet, or turn. So here, if I take a node feature here, F, it is actually one hot encoding of helix, sheet, or turn. So if this particular node has a secondary structure element as a helix, then it will look like 1, 0, 0. And if this node has a turn as a SSE, then it will look like 0, 0, 1. And this manner, for each node, we can provide node features. Here, edge are connected if the neighbors along the amino acid sequence. Okay. Again, here, when we construct graph for each of these protein tertiary structures, we have an average 39 nodes and around 145 edges. With this particular graph, we are going to do graph classification, where given these structures, we want to learn whether they have an enzymatic property or property as an enzyme, or they are non-enzymatic proteins. Again, we are going to use stratified split, training 80%, test 20%. Again, number of filters 2, hidden channels 32. One of the reasons we want to keep all of them same to show you or demonstrate you the applications. Again, ADMW with learning rate of 0.01 is used, epoch 20. So more or less all the problem setting and filter, hidden channels, optimize, and epoch remains same in all the graph classification problems which we have looked at it. Here again, we are using the 4 kind of graph filters or graph neural networks: standard, GNN, GCN, GET, and graph sage as a filters, and try to see which one is providing us a better results. Again, GET is actually providing a better results. Graph attention networks are often captures the interaction between different nodes and within the graph structure far better in all these examples. Of course, these are the results, as I told you, without any hyperparameter tuning.